Uber drivers have all done this before. You've just picked up your next passenger and you say something that you thought was perfectly okay to say to the passenger, and you immediately notice that it shouldn't have been said. Next thing you know, you just got a 4-star rating and no tip. But thankfully, communicating with your passengers is a lot easier than it may seem. And while I've covered some things you should say to your Uber passengers in a previous video, today let's discuss some things you should never say to the person in the back of your vehicle. Hey everyone, it's Kian from the Rideshare Guy, pronounced Kian, and yes, let's get right into this list. And the first point is one that I think we've all probably done, but believe it or not, Uber themselves actually tells you not to say this to your passengers, or more specifically, ask this to your Uber passengers, which is, am I driving you home? Now, on the surface, it seems relatively harmless, a way to build some light conversation, but a lot of passengers can see this as a breach of privacy, especially if they've just gotten on the car and they barely know anything about you and have just seen your face from the profile, and that's the only thing they've had to connect the dots. So while I don't think it's the biggest offense in the world, and while I think most people probably just won't care all that much, I would just use hesitation in terms of saying it at all. I wouldn't bring it up unless it's already brought up. All right, number 2 on the list of things you should never say, and this one's probably a little more obvious, don't say anything about politics or religion. I know that this can be important to a lot of people, especially a lot of Uber drivers, but at the same time, it's going to create a lot of discomfort for the person in the back of your vehicle, even if they agree with you on whatever terms of politics or religion or spirituality that you're bringing into conversation. It can just make them uncomfortable and not at ease with the conversation that's about to be had, because they don't know where the conversation's going to derail if they've already given you the green light for something like politics or religion. But what I can give you the green light for is making sure you guys subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video from the Rideshare Guy, and specifically a new video from yours truly. Okay, moving on. The third thing that you should never say to your Uber passengers is nothing. Wait, didn't I say that in the last video? Believe it or not, while saying nothing can actually be majority of the time the right thing to say, just not saying anything at all and letting the ride itself out, sometimes there are scenarios where people want to have a conversation with you, and not saying anything at all is going to make them incredibly uncomfortable in the back of the vehicle. Like if somebody asks you a question specifically and you either give them really short answers or just don't say anything at all, they're gonna assume one of two things. 1, you don't speak English, or 2, you hate them. And while I get that a lot of people do struggle with initiating conversations, I'm not saying you have to give them a full monologue. Just ask the important questions. How you doing? Is this the right place we're going to? And, are you comfortable in the back of the car? After that, if they're not engaging with you, you can turn up the music a little bit and enjoy the rest of the ride. But if they want to have a conversation with you, at the very least, entertain them. Number 4 on the list of things that you shouldn't say to your Uber passengers, and this is gonna get a lot of Uber drivers really upset with me, I'm pretty sure. The phrase, my car, my rules, or anything to that degree, that's just an easy way to ensure you are not gonna get a tip. Because not only does it scream entitlement to a lot of passengers, at the same time, it just also screams a lack of respect for the service that you're providing, because that, at the end of the day, is what you're doing. You are providing a service, and you're being paid for it as well. Albeit, maybe we're not being paid a ton of money right now, but at the same time, people want to have the ability to ask questions and make sure that they're comfortable. So asking, hey, could you turn the AC up a little bit? And they hear the reply of, hey, my car, my rules. That's just gonna make you seem incredibly narcissistic and like an asshole. And yeah, you'll probably deserve the 1-star review you're gonna get from that. And the final piece of advice in terms of things I would never say to Uber passengers, at least in terms of the way I would phrase it for this last one, telling your passengers to tip you. Because I know it seems like the reasonable thing to do, like if you don't ask people to tip you, chances are they're probably not gonna tip you, but asking people to do so directly at the very least is going to leave a bad taste in their mouth. So even if they agree to it, and you'll hear a lot of people saying, oh yeah, I'll tip you in the app, and then you never get a tip. We've all been there. So I don't think, like, at the heart of hearts, it's the worst thing in the world to say. I would just rephrase it more specifically, saying, you know, if you would just do me a favor and go back into the app and leave an honest review or a positive rating or just an honest rating of what you thought of the ride, it really helps me out. Because if they're already back in the app, chances are they will also see the option to tip their Uber driver. And if they had a good enough experience to go back in the app and leave you a 5-star rating, chances are they will leave you at least a couple bucks as a tip as well. But I want to hear what you guys think. Guys, leave your comments down below. What would you never say to an Uber passenger in a million years with anybody that's in the back of your car? Leave your comments down below. And if you guys want to see the last video that I posted on the Rideshare Guy, you can go check out that video link over there. And with all out of the way, that's going to be it for me today for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, stay cool.